I'm MC Toon, and it's Tuesday night, and I have a debate later. But right now, I have a video review and a little something I'm going to start with on a little more serious note. So what happened is I have Archimedes Revisited. We're going to debate. But Sunday night, he said he couldn't go this week. He's got some other conflicts. So I said, okay, well, that's fine. Thanks for letting me know. So it's planned for next week, and we've even got the plot hole planned to moderate. Should be a good one. We have shared our evidences already. I have not had a good track record of people showing up for it, so I'm hoping this will be the first one where he shows up, where I've sent my evidence ahead of time. But the more serious note is because when that happened, I said, well, let me go back and look at some of the previous people that I've had on and see if somebody wants to come in that's had a good experience before. And so one of the people that I contacted, or I thought I looked into, was Joshua James Bolero. I hope I'm saying that right. He goes by Zenith Atlas. He thinks the Earth is concave. He used to be a flat earther, but they tend to move on. The problem is, this was the last interaction I had with. There's a couple more after this, but it was a nice conversation. He's been on here before. He was on here with myself and FTFE. I like him. He's a concave earther, but I like him. I blanked out a little bit of this conversation. We're actually talking about Sam Hancock or Sam Owens, who I've also been talking to and might be on sometime here in the next couple weeks. But so this was among the most recent interactions we had back over a year ago. Well, I looked at his Facebook page, and this was his last post. And if you go find it, you'll see he did something. So he was into trouble. He had stuff going wrong. He had a lot of sad things in his life, and he ended it. I spoke with that was in October. I didn't know. I spoke with one of his good friends, Brother Ernest, yesterday for probably an hour, and we talked about some of the good and some of the bad. And Brother Ernest, funny guy, strange guy. He's been on here too. If you remember anything about him, you'll know he's a bit goofy. But anyway, so a sad thing. But remember, this reminded me, the people that we know this, the people that think the Earth is flat or something else, they didn't get there because they're thinking straight. They're damaged people. And I get comments from flat earthers after I say these types of things, but look, flat earthers, you didn't get to thinking the Earth was flat by logical, rational things. And some people say, like Dr. Bob says, there are t-shirt sellers and t-shirt buyers, and the sellers are the charlatans and scammers, and the buyers, they're damaged. So remember that as you interact with these people. It was good for me, a good reminder for me. So thank you to Joshua James Bolero. I'm sorry. We always got along. So there you go. So moving on. To the the topic of tonight, which is I'm going to be reviewing a few videos, and Uh, let's see. Peter Dole. I'm damaged too, Peter. Okay, fine. I'll take it. Troy has been on here. Sean Hawkins, you were almost there too. I'm glad you're not. There have been other people too. I'm not gonna list them out. Not gonna air their stuff, but the people, you know, there are people that if you need to talk, find them, and if you need, find me. So, I already got a super chat. Throw the Dwarf of the House of Torg for 5 Australian says, for breaking Mallory's laptop for me. So if you were there last week, Mallory, in a very people thought, you're like, is she serious? But her Leapfrog laptop apparently got a malware on it. So there was a flat earther I was talking to today, and I'm like, hey, you need to come on here. He hasn't been on here yet. And he's like, yeah, I will as soon as I get a laptop. So I sent him a link to a Leapfrog on Amazon. He did not find the humor in it that I have. So anyway, here is we're gonna start with this is an interesting one. And I'll get to the why after I play a little bit of it here. Here is from Flatman X with all 839 subscribers. The title of the video is Who Are the Gatekeepers? And it says clips from the movie The Next Level. With his own edit. His own custom edit, the Flatman X edit. So here we go. Traveling too far south.
Australian Navy subscription.
I know you people. You'll recognize this.
The turret's turning at us.
Because we addressed it in we reviewed it on the Toon Show channel. And then there's FEU in the bottom. I don't know what that is. It's not Flatman X. So the point of this is Flatman X is claiming that they're traveling too far south.
Going that way.
Just traversing.
And then there's a warship. A battleship. And that guy's wearing a t-shirt.
Just go.
Traveling too far south.
When people say,
oh yeah, Flat Earth University.
One of the main answers is they're hiding more land.
You hear Derp's voice. All right. Hiding more land, Derp said. Derpth. So, but here's the thing, right in the video, we back it up a little bit. Say, traveling too far south. We go back a little more. I'm not at the beginning. I did not start it at the beginning. We go all the way here, April 29. Now, the actual source video, he did not include the original source video that included the actual location. But Flatman X does include this little piece here. Bass Strait, Australia. Where is the Bass Strait? Well, it's not hard to find. It's right there. The Bass Strait is between Australia and Tanzania. Yes, I know, it's Tasmania. It is not very far south. This is where they are, somewhere in the Bass Strait. Now, why would this be called traveling too far south, Flatman X and Derpth and Flat Earth University, and all of you absolute complete total idiots? That's not very far south at all. They didn't go to to the south part of Tasmania and then go straight south from there. No, they didn't go from the South Island of New Zealand, which is farther south than Tasmania. They didn't go from the closest and shortest way to get to Antarctica. They didn't go from Port Williams. That little boat doesn't have enough fuel, most likely, to get from the Bass Strait to Antarctica, even if it went straight south, which it certainly wasn't, because there's the island of Tasmania in the way. Why do you have to lie, Flatman X and Derpth and ODD TV and Flat Earth Millionaire and Santos Bonacci? Why do you have to lie for all of your stuff? This wasn't too far south. You're just scum liars. That's all you are. So it's no wonder why these leaders of the flat earth won't come on for a debate. Because I would just lay this out. Why did you claim this was too far south? It was nowhere near too far south. Nowhere near. It's kind of gross. It's gross when you have to lie just to try to support things. We'll get into more of that later with one of the last videos. It's you know, I say it all the time. You got to lie to Flerf. And I don't know if I coined that phrase. I might have. I don't know. I don't need credit for it, but I've been saying it for a long time. It's what they have to do. It's a fundamental part of the flat earth religion to just throw out a whole bunch of lies. And then the gullible people that will not do their own research believe it. Because if you did your own research, you'll know they weren't traveling too far south. So anyway, the Navy in that video was holding exercises and those fishermen went to the wrong place, the wrong day to fish. Yes, certainly that's easy to find out. I don't even know why they thought that was. How was it that the people that first picked up on that video thought that there was some sort of a relation to traveling to Antarctica? They're nowhere near it. We can look the southernmost part of the Bass Strait would probably be like down here in Devonport, you know, which they certainly weren't near, but it's only 41 degrees south. There it is, 41 degrees south. They were 19 degrees latitude away from how far south you'd need to be, and they weren't in the type of boat that could get there. Look at that. Look how far that. Let's measure the distance. There you go. 2,900 kilometers or 1,800 miles. Wow. So. So, all right, there's that one. Now, one of the things that flat earthers, what they tend to do, especially dearth. We're getting into some dearth here. Or hold on a second. Burt Rickles says, they said in the video, source unknown, and I found the original in 30 seconds. Yeah, it's not hard to do your own research. They did not try. They either did not try, right? Or they did, and they discovered that they didn't want to include the source video. So, anyway, so here's the tactic that Dearth likes to use. He'll take something that is impossible for flat Earth, and then he'll add proves flat Earth to the end of it. Bitcoin challenge, where he says all you need to do is prove the globe. His standard of proof for flat Earth is so ridiculously low that you don't actually have to do anything related to come to the conclusion. And here's we'll get to that. Here is look at that Lake Pontchartrain, and then he adds proves flat Earth, and he bets on whether or not, even if he was correct, that it would be proof. Of course not. So here it is. Now he typically just does like this emotional music overlay. It's part of the cult mindset that they're trying to do. So yeah, here's the curve of the Lake Pontchartrain causeway taken by Soundly. Excellent thing. But is it Earth curve? Here is a favorite video from a globe cult. So here it is again, curvature of the globe, and indeed it is. He does a weird transition. There we go. So let me back it up. This is so this was taken from a usually he's doing it from a hotel room that's get high enough. So and you can see it, and it's zoomed way in order to see that long of a distance. So you're seeing many miles long. That bridge is very long. And then they have Legos. Now, how dare you? How dare you use Legos? And so now what they don't do is they don't quantify the table. You don't know if that table is flat or not. They never show that whether it's flat or not. They just let you completely and absolutely assume that it is flat without quantifying it at all. It's not hard to do. I mean, you could go get a straight edge. You can go to any hardware store and buy yourself a high quality 8-foot long straight edge. Put it on the table. The straight edge is straight. You don't know if the table is. So go do that. They don't. But you can see that the table is curved. You can look at the surface of the table and see it's obstructing things behind it. There is no, they love to just invent things, but there's no reason why a table that would be flat would cause things behind it to be obstructed bottom up. That's because the table's curved. That's it. Yeah, the new horizon line is because the table is curved. What you have done here, Dearth, and he just mirrored it from somebody else, is show that in order to see curve, you need to have curve. And we got Ryan Casey, all known as Exposing Ma's Tricks, who says it's optics, moron. Well, no, it's not just optic. You can see right here, this is another good angle where you can see the actual surface of the table is curved. Now, if somebody wanted to go get that table and show me that it's flat by using a measuring device, go ahead, but no, you won't see that. So again, and this is the most important thing. Even if, except for 1 minute, that they're correct, that there was a flat table. There isn't, but except for a minute that there was, would it prove that the Earth were flat? Of course not. The best it could do, the very best it could do, is show that it works for both. That is the absolute most that you could do. Because in Soundly's video, it's curved. Absolutely curved, as expected for the globe. There is no actual reason why it would be looking like this if it were flat. But, they go and they deceive people and use a curved table to do that. Right? And then they even draw lines. Yeah. You bet. The top of those Legos are curved, just like the top of that table is curved. Okay, so looks like a leaf table with the center leg propped up. It certainly could. Hold on a second. Why was Texas Troy? Hold on a second. Hey, I don't know if Texas Troy was... What was he saying? Hold on. Abducted by aliens. Don't think so. Thermometer. All right, hold on a second. Marcus Dresden. Who did it? Was it Marcus? Don't. All right, Texas Troy. He asked me for a wrench. I'm not ready to give him a wrench. Don't make me give him a wrench just to not get timed out. Okay. Oh, it's a joke. Oh, okay. Extra J says, had a Flerfy try to say Pontchartrain curvature was due to the lenses distorting the view. I asked where the lens was with a Sony A7 body attached to a reflector telescope. Silence. Yeah. He he had a telescope on it. But if you're going to claim it's the lens, then show the documentation. Get the actual lens and show somebody doing some sort of documentation on the lens making things appear curved that are straight. So anyway, so let's finish this. So best case is you could say it works for both, but Dearth, in his extremely low standard of proof, says it proves something that it could not ever prove. Best case, even if he wasn't lying about the tabletop, is it just says it works on both. So that's it. No good, Dearth. No good, Dearth. But his extremely low standard of evidence is telling, because if that is his low standard of evidence, then his proof for the globe must be equally low. So I think all you would need to do is show that very picture and say it's curved, therefore it proves the Earth is curved somehow. Earthless Life says the Legos were not in a straight line. That could be as well, but it was obvious that the top of the table was curved. So it would be, it'd be interesting, would be to replicate that experiment using an actual straight edge. As it happens, the hardware store not far from me has 8-foot long straight edges. Also, as it happens, I have Legos. I have a lot of Legos. I have a whole bin of Legos that are, you've got two things of Legos, people. If you have Legos, you know what I'm talking about. You've got the bin of Legos that are like you disassembled something and it just wound up in there. And you might have inherited it from somebody else, And then you've got the ones, like up here, that are put together, and you don't take it, you'd never want that to go back into the bin. The bin of random Legos, you'll never build that globe again, because those pieces, you'll never find all of them again. They're forever gone once it winds its way into the bin. Judy, you got this. What color are the Legos? They're all beautiful shades of gray. Duplo's Legos. We had some. I don't think we have them anymore, since the 33 kids are old enough to not need them. So don't you have the Lake Pontchartrain Powerline Lego set? Oh, Bendy Light, that's awesome. That'd be good. Wow, Peter Dole is a harsh one tonight. Peter, I can't. It's not science. He wants me to demonstrate God. I can't. It's religion. It's faith. There you go. So that's all you're gonna get. I mean, you're gonna get me worked up on it, Peter. So I mean, that's about all you get. So let's see. What is Jiffy Cones says, a PJCnet, Ranty, an X-Flerf went out to a running track, which is designed to be as flat as possible. He found the things don't disappear from the bottom up with distance. Get wrecked. Well, that was funny. Poor Ranty. He live streamed it. He went out there confident in the information that charlatan Nathan Oakley gave him about angle of attack. And he was confident that the Simon Dan and Conspiracy Cats little mocking figurines that he had set up way down the way would be obstructed bottom up, and they weren't. They weren't. Oh yeah, the Apollo rocket right there. That one, I have a video of me assembling that. It's like a montage. If you want to watch that, it's not very long, so it is cool. It is a cool one. And Leo King says, Flerfs love to use their eyes to prove stuff. Well, I've traveled the bridge countless times. There have never ever been any day under any condition where you can see one end from the other. Oh, there's a little bit of a curve in the way. Yep. Sean, all right, now I'll read this one. Peter Dole from Sean Hawkins. Peter Dole, I hope I'm saying that right, Peter. So where'd it go? Man created God to explain scientific phenomenon. I don't agree with that completely, but you know, there are an awful lot of aspects to religion, all sorts of religions, that were, I think, put together to explain things that people didn't understand. I'm with you there. I'm with you there. So let me read up a couple of these things here before I go to the next one. We got Rodman for 5. 2 Canadians says, hope that's me, Mallory. Or said, nope, that's me. Yes. Oh, sorry, Mallory. That was Rodman that hacked your Leapfrog laptop. And then Aaron Finley has been a member for 7 months. Says, Flat Earth says Australia doesn't exist, though, remember? That's right. You know, I don't know where that actually came from, because I've never heard an actual flat earther claim that Australia doesn't exist or that they're all actors or anything. Maybe there was somebody that said it sarcastically, but it's got a life of its own. I have no idea where it actually came from. Maybe somebody does. Sean Hawkins. And also to keep the barbarians from killing and eating everyone. Well, I mean, I cannot say that you're wrong. There's certainly some of that. Sorry, little tab going there. Earth is Life for $2 says the Legos were not in a straight line. So yeah, that would be something to do, to put the Legos in a non-straight line, to try to force on a flat surface to force the outcome that they got there, and then also to test it on a confirmed flat surface, like a 8-foot straight edge. They're not cheap though, but maybe I'll get one just for that, and then return it. Borrow one from somebody. Maybe I might be able to do that. Matt Klein says, you aren't even exaggerating about the Lego bin. Once a piece falls in there, it's not coming back. My Lego bin is a tote box heaping full. Yeah. I have under one of my kids' beds is the bin. It's the, the 18-inch tall bin it's huge. It's heavy. You pull it out, you're like, oh, it's the gold mine of Legos. And you're like, I just need this. I need 2 of these. You find one, you're not going to find the other. You're just digging. Just dig, and you're like, oh, here's a cool piece. Dig. Here's a cool piece, and you're like, it's no hope. There's no hope. You're never finding the one piece you need. Lael for $5 says, if you do the Lego table challenge, please place the center of the frame at the bottom of the Legos, and see if the Legos disappear bottom up. Yeah. The other thing they like to do is they'll put the camera. They'll have the table here, and they'll put the camera here, like the table ends here, and they'll put the camera here, so you don't actually see the top of the table. You see the side of the table, but not the top. But when you're standing at the ocean, you see the top of the water. So it's not a legitimate analog. You need to have the camera so that you can actually see the top of the table the whole way. Ideally, you'd have the camera right on the table. Just make that straight edge long enough. Go to a gym or something like that, or a hallway, and then do the sun at the appropriate height. Not on the ground. The sun never touches the ground. No flat earther claims that the sun touches the ground. Put it up high. Will it get obstructed bottom up? It will not. It will not. Okay. Just call me Abby. Lego knolling is therapeutic. Nothing is more satisfying than laying out all the pieces ready for assembly. I don't know. Brenda, how many 4x4 Legos would it take to form a black hole? This could actually be calculated. If you are a friend of, or if you're familiar with Randall from XKCD, you'll know that he loves doing things like calculating how much of something might be needed to make a black hole. He also did one of my favorites. What would happen if you had a mole of moles? I hope all of you recognized that I included Avocado's number in there. And I hope all of you, especially Dora, appreciated that it's actually Avocado's, not avocado. And I think his answer was something like it'd be approximately, it'd be big. You'd have to put it in orbit around the Earth, and that the pressure in the center would definitely crush the moles in the middle. Oh, I got his book, What If. I think I got 3 copies. I gave one to my kid, one to somebody I was mentoring, and one to I don't know. I don't have it anymore. I don't have any copies of it, but I bought. So, okay. All right, get back to, let's see here. What is gonna get, oh geez. Another from Derpth. Now, you ready for this one? Mute Donkey, am I getting the new book? I have to admit, I haven't kept up on Randall Munroe lately, on XKCD and all the things that he's done lately. So I'm a little behind, like a couple years behind. I actually had a tab on my browser at work, and I've been at home for over 2 years. So that browser tab at work, that direction is sitting there waiting for me to come back to it and catch up on over 2 years of content. So oh my gosh, David Jones, that is such a dad joke. That is so dad. He says, if you replace the moles at the center with avocados, you would have guacamole. Oh, that's too. I'm sorry, everybody. That's not a dad. Here we go with more derpth. Clockwise or counterclockwise star trails on a flat Earth. Now you will recognize a little peak there. You recognize? You see that? Right there? Oh, here we go. Let's see. He's like flat Earth philosophy. He's telling people
exactly
to subscribe to him.
Doing, showing people over 2 years, and they're trying to tell you, oh, we've known for 2,000 years it's a spinning ball. No, it's not a spinning ball.
Okay, here we go. Observation start.
So Lindsay was so triggered by Professor Dave and Derp's debate that he's playing it on his phone, sitting there on the bottom of his whiteboard, right up here, right here, underneath. And then probably not Lindsay, probably Derpth added the clown hair and nose on Professor Dave. Classy.
Where's the next one? You're controlling it, right? Do I just tell you when to go?
So he's going through his star rotation screenshots.
If you're in the northern hemisphere looking at the North Pole, then hang on, all this stuff is covering the key.
You're looking at Polaris. Dead center.
Anyway, if you're looking at the North Pole in the northern hemisphere, the stars rotate counterclockwise. Go to the next one. If you were in the southern hemisphere looking at the South Pole, the stars rotate clockwise. Next one. How does this make sense on a flat Earth? Sorry, this is a screenshot from one of my videos. So in the video, they're rotating in different directions.
By having a mirror
Two
image.
people on a flat pizza land.
By having a mirror image. How? Where's the mirror? No idea.
Look at the sky and see a sky that is rotating in different ways. Next one. And further,
Anybody could go outside, look at the celestial equator. There's the celestial tropical gap.
The celestial tropical gap. The celestial equator he calls the celestial tropical gap.
And see 2 rotations.
Yeah, you see 2 rotations. That is exactly what you would predict on a globe, and is completely opposite of what you would see for flat Earth. But again, this is Derpth, who basically says you take something that destroys flat Earth and prove flat Earth to it, and somehow his gullible moron followers are just going to gobble it up. How does that... Whatever.
If you use your camera, star trails, you'll see the gap. You'll see the gap. Like that's aimed dead north and south. Watch this.
So the gap. All right, let's review the gap that he's talking about right here. Where's the gap? There's no gap. There's just those that are less and less curved, and then right in the middle would be straight ones, as predicted on a globe. But on a flat Earth, in the center, you'd see small circles. And then if you looked away from it, the opposite direction, you'd see lateral moving ones. As the dome, I guess, moves. How come it doesn't grind on the wheels? Does it have like some really super good bearings that it rolls on?
If you use your camera, right center, flowing through.
It does matter. Yeah, that's the other thing is they'll just say something that does matter. It doesn't matter. That's all they get. Right, now this was hard to see. There's actually a mirror there, and he has like an octopus plate. So the North Star is the octopus plate, and then the equatorial gap, which of course doesn't exist. So where is this mirror, Lindsay? And this still wouldn't actually have, if there's no configuration of a mirror where you would see, looking south, a center point. You wouldn't see that. That's all. That's all it is. But let's look here. Here's how powerful Dearth is. 3.4 thousand subscribers for Lindsay before this video, which was May 29. So so a little over a week ago. It got all of 8,000 views on Derp's channel of 87,000 subscribers. He gets about a 10% a week. That's, I don't know. I don't know what averages are for YouTube channels. I only know mine. That's not very, very high. But anyway, what does he have now? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. He has all of 3.8. 3.8. So he got 400 more subscribers. Pretty good to get 400 more subscribers, but out of 87,000, man. I gotta say, Dearth, you don't. Hold on. Dearth, you don't have much pull with your own people. They don't care about you, man. Oh well. It's all good. It's all good. Lindsay, Lindsay, an endless source of craziness. He just invents things. I was in one of the, I think, Flat Earth Science debate group on Facebook, and he came in. He showed up in there, and I made a post welcoming him. I said, "Look, I'm glad you're here, Lindsay. I will, because this is a science group, I will expect everything, that all the claims that you make to be backed up with science." He didn't like it. He eventually he left the group like a day later. So Nelg says, actually, wouldn't a cylindrical mirror possibly work? A cylindrical mirror. So I don't think so. The one thing I think maybe could somehow work, but it still wouldn't, I don't think it'd do much for you, but would be to have a, now it wouldn't. So there's a guy called Cosmic Surfer. There's actually several Cosmic Surfers, so I don't know which is which, that had an actual physical model of a flat Earth with a disc over like half of it, so from like the North Pole to the equator, rotating. And then he had over the whole thing like a glass jar thing that was simulating the dome, and then on top of the disc he had more like stars that he put on there. And he was saying from inside, if you look south, it would reflect off of the dome twice, maybe thrice, and then you would see the actual top of the disc. It wouldn't work because the disc, you know, from here's like the center, right? And here you are somewhere in the northern hemisphere. You'd look up this way, right? And you'd see where the disc ended, and you'd have this view. You'd have to hit the mirror up there and it'd bounce around a couple times. You'd see what's up here. But when you moved, the edge of that disc would then be in a different space, different place relative to you. And so what would happen behind it would drastically change because of the angle that you had to that would change drastically. So it wouldn't be a continuum of stars that were all in the same position. As you moved, you would see different views of the reflected ones. So so no mirror would work because the southern stars are not a mirror image of the northern stars. Well, yeah, that says gaming with both hands. Oh, good. I game with both hands too. You're right. It's not. They're not a mirror image, though some Flerfs have actually tried to claim that. Like they find like 2 or 3 stars or constellations that sort of look kind of similar. They're like, oh, it's totally it. It's not. It's not how it works, but whatever. But the Cosmic Surfer version, he had a different set of stars up on the top of the disc. But that's totally different from Lindsay. Lindsay, who here you go. Lindsay just likes, he's just lonely. People, just remember, he's lonely. Those 2 semicircles over on the right side is what he's longing for, and clearly isn't getting. Poor guy. So he thinks that the sun is in the middle of them, right in the middle of the cleavage. He thinks the sun is actually there. And that electromagnetism, the Earth's magnetic field somehow bends the light. Of course, electromagnetism does not bend light. Now, and I'll give that with one caveat. They're at extreme nanotesla range, and so there isn't nearly enough to do anything. And his idea demands light to be bent a drastic amount. How? It's just magic. Just magic. So basically, that every flat Earth explanation. This magic happens here, therefore I'm right. That's how it all works. So there you go. Is Texas Troy using perspective? Are you abusing perspective? That's not the word. Hold on a second. You keep perspective, Texas Troy.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Right, Tony? Troy? It doesn't mean what you think it means. Okay. So it's funny. The name of this video from the Dunning-Kruger is just dripping from this. This is the actual one from Lindsay. who renamed his channel Flat Earth Philosophy a while ago. So Professor Dave gets a real physics lesson dedicated to Dave Weiss. Lindsay doesn't know the first thing about physics. So, Nell says, wait, how again does electromagnetism affect a particle with no electromagnetic charge or dipole moment? You mean, how does a multiple Tesla magnetic field bend light? I think it bends space-time is what it's actually doing. It is predicted by relativity and was recently confirmed, if I'm remembering that right. I don't think I have the... Hold on. Give me a moment. See, I don't want to lose this. All right, hold on. I took notes. I have notes for what I'm covering today, but I open it up in a new window. If only AB Science were here, I'm sure he would know. Laws, no, I don't have. I did not save that. I should have saved it. I don't think it's gravitational lensing. Don't think so. Nell, oh, yes, that. All right, there you go. Was that a trick question? Did I get it right? So, okay. Poor Lindsay. He's funny. He's goofy. Now, again, we're going to go again with Derpth. And he does the same trick. He takes something that does not work for flat Earth and then proves small local sun. So, again, the extremely low standard of evidence, the ridiculously horrible standard of evidence, and then just proves it. So, all right, we'll go back to this here. So, all right, before we get to this, eclipses are absolutely demolishing to flat Earth. And here's the book, the Eclipse Almanac, 2021 to 2030, by good old Fred Espenak. So this uses ELP 2000 and VSOP 87 to predict the date, location, duration, time of eclipses, where you're going to see them, where the path of totality will be, where you'll see it, where you won't see it, the best place to go see it. This was the same stuff that predicted the 2017 location. Flat Earthers traveled to go see it's ridiculous, to go see the eclipse based on the globe prediction. No flat Earth prediction. Anyway, eclipses destroy flat Earth. You go with the hypothesis, the standard, kind of basic science. You say, well, I have a hypothesis that the Earth is a globe and the moon is a sphere and the sun is a sphere, and they're all a certain distance away, and that gravity does this, and that they're orbiting each other, and Kepler's laws and all this. And based on those things, I'm going to calculate the consequences of my hypothesis that we'll see an eclipse on this day at this location. And then you see it an eclipse on this day at this location. And, oh, well, we've confirmed the hypothesis. There it is. And then on the other hand, for flat Earth, you say, well, tell me for flat Earth, when does it make it happen? Just call me Avi. You can't make a prediction without a model, which Flerfs don't even have. So if you can't test flat Earth, it's not falsifiable. Therefore, it's not even in the realm of science. It is religion. And Peter Dole, that's religion. Not testable. So, exposing Ma's tricks. He's so funny. Use earthly balls and a light and match the shapes of the shadow we see across the moon. Go ahead. Test the hypothesis there. If you want to falsify it, go right ahead and see if you can. And that's another one. That's another one. And Exposing Mouse Tricks / Ryan Casey does this. He will claim that something about eclipses, and he thinks that it can't work. And then he says, you need to go test it. Hold on a second. That's your claim. You go test it. Not us. You can. So he says he's tried and he can't match it, but he didn't do it to scale. He told me that. Do it to scale. So anyway, let's get back to this one here. The derpth. The simulation shows a person's view of the sky while traveling across the land with a frozen moment in time during a solar eclipse. Now I'm going to speed this up because he kind of goes slow on this. I don't know what this is. It's some sort of cloth. So there's the eclipse shadow, and it's like I sped it up already. Speed it up more. He's just kind of slow. It's all right. It doesn't have to be fast. So there he showed a different way to do an eclipse, apparently. Whoop-de-doo. A local version of an eclipse. He's doing it again on a different piece of fabric. They look like acid-washed jeans from the 80s. Okay, so good job. You showed that it's possible to do it a different way. Whoop-de-doo. That doesn't disprove the other way. But yeah, it doesn't quite look right. But I think the point is, I'll say this. The point is that he took a flashlight, he put something in front of it, and then he has a screen to project it on. Now, where is this? He's trying to claim that there's a screen in reality that is being projected on. Where is this screen? Nobody knows. There is no screen. But so that we'll get into that in a little bit. Whatever's blocking the light is too big, scales way up. Yes. They don't get scale. They never get scale. But even so, it doesn't disprove the other versions of it, right? And it doesn't prove 1,000 other things just because one thing sort of kind of worked, right? You need to actually, needs to be, you can have like a small scale, like if you ever watch Mythbusters, they do a scaled down version of it to see if it works before they make the big one. Well, go ahead, do it. Model your flat Earth. Put because Dearth uses the derpy map. Let's see, do I have it? No, I don't know. He uses the AE map. That's his whole thing. It's the AE map. So take that, put the sun, put your flashlight thingy, and put the moon there, and see if it works. You know what? It won't work. It won't work because the size of the shadow when it's really close to the sun, because that's what he says, right? He says that the like it's like 3,000 miles up, that both of them are, and they're like right next to each other when it's during an eclipse. The size of the shadow would be like huge. It'd be everywhere. So anyway, they never do it to their scale, but whatever. So here you can see the flashlight and then the thing that he's using to block it. Yep, a disc really close. Of course, the moon is not a disc. If it were a disc, from the side it would be an ellipse. Oh, Brenda, I think this guy's a Muslim. What, a Peter Dole? Is that who you're talking about, Brenda? Because I don't think you're talking about Dearth. Anyway, his disc says flat earther. All right, so here's an actual picture of an eclipse. Okay. If the eclipsing object, this moon, was 240,000 miles away, everyone on Earth would see it at the same time. not at all, because you're to the side of it, right? You've got the moon is 240,000 miles away, and you're to the side. You'd see part of it. I mean, seriously, this book is based on actual modeling of the moon being that particular distance away. Yours isn't based on any modeling. You didn't provide any evidence supporting your claims. Show the geometry for it. You can't. Flerfs can't geometry. Oh! Oh, Judy got this. She said, muslin, not Muslim. They're spelled the same. That would be the fabric. The fabric. I'm sorry, I'm not up on fabrics. I do know that word, though. It's a thin fabric. Is that what muslin is? I'm sorry. Jeez. I mean, let's call it toilet paper. He's using it's the toilet paper sheet. So okay, all right. So that's the end of it. But you can see here, this is Earth's. Nope. Let's stop it. Get back here. Earth's app, right there. That's jeez. Come on. There it is. There's his app. Dearth is fully committed to the AE map. Even when the other Flerfs have left it because nothing works. They've got away from a map because they know it never happens. It never works. But I mean, this one here, in this one, this particular view here, the sun is over like Central America. And then the moon looks like it's over maybe partway between Indonesia and Australia, right? Well, if you were in, say, China, the moon would appear full to you for this one. And if you were in Australia on this one, you'd see the dark side of the moon. You'd see maybe just a 1/4 sliver of the moon being illuminated. That doesn't happen. The moon would be different phases based on where you were located. But we don't see that. We see the same moon phase all the time. If the moon were a disk, anywhere except orthogonal to it, you would see an ellipse, depending on how far away you are, depending on your location. It's simple stuff. This is middle school. This isn't middle school. This is elementary school. But Dearth's gullible followers can't even put that together. So, all right. I have one more dearth. Well, and then on eclipses again. So, Professor Phil Bell says, it never ceases to amaze me that people call themselves a flat earther, which is exactly equivalent to calling themselves stupid. Correct. And there are some flat earthers that insist on not being called flat earthers. Bev, for example, doesn't want to be called a flat earther anymore. He says he's not one because he can prove that there's topography, which nobody actually thinks is a problem. There's nobody that's like, oh, flat earthers don't believe in topography. And that's not what they think. Nobody thinks that. You don't have to actually try to protect against that mistake that nobody makes. Texas Troy has a map, says Mute Donkey. And we need to force him to reveal it. Texas Troy, show us your map. I want to see your map. So early Nathan Oakley, he shows the AE map. He does. Early. He won't take anything down from his channel. Right? A lot of flat earthers, they take down the embarrassing things, the things where they get stuff wrong. And a lot of them change their views over time because nothing works. They actually go and figure out. In fact, it's a map of his farm. So they figure out, they're like, oh crap, that doesn't work. The AE map doesn't work. No map works. So I hear my cat meowing in the other room. So then they'll just get rid of it. So Jaren has done that, and Globebusters has done that, because Bob from Globebusters did a video like 2 years ago mirrored a video of a guy that showed the AE map and then read the Gleason map. Of course, didn't read the top of it where it says it's a projection, didn't read the patent that says it's extorted from the globe. Forgot that one, but saw where the word equidistant, and so thought that equidistant meant that all of the little kind of pie pieces were equidistant, and so they weren't actually pie pieces, they were actually like squares. So if you do that, if you take the Gleason map or the AE map and you make the distances between the lines of longitude equal, this is the map you get. It's a cylinder. There's no way around it. If the distance between the lines of longitude are the same at the equator as at 99 degrees north, this is what they think the Earth is. Now, obviously, it doesn't work. What happens here? Where is this the edge? The edge of flat Earth? It's not even flat? I don't know. They take down everything they get wrong. That would be everything. Anyway, Nathan Oakley doesn't take down things, and I credit for that. But man, I mean, he still has up videos of him touting the AE map. So whatever. So all right. Let's I got Dana Ulmo for $2 says you're a good man, Tune. Thank you. Thank you for that. I don't know what that's referring to, but I appreciate it. So, okay, let's get to this one again. More eclipse desperation. The projected sun. In my humble opinion, he says. So here is, so again, this is the model eclipse on toilet paper and the actual eclipse. Where is this toilet paper in the sky? I don't know. Oh, this is great. This is great. All right. So at the bottom of the screen, you see that little crescent at the bottom of the screen with another piece like up to the up left and down right a little bit. Those are internal reflections from the lenses. So they didn't give details on the camera that was used. So if it was a like an SLR camera, then there's many layers of glass in there that really bright things can bounce off of, and you'll get a secondary or third or multiple different copies of it depending on where it is in the lens, right? And people also will film things through a window. And if you film it through a window, you get another one of these because there's a thickness to the glass, and it'll bounce back and forth and then come at you again. All right, I got to read this from Sleet because I think is this from MST3K? In the not too distant future, way down in Toon's man cave, la la la. Yeah, it's MST. The Flerfs of the Earth are conspiring in their secret Flerf enclave. Somebody's gonna have to sing that because I'm not gonna be singing it. All right, so here's this video, and let's continue this. And then he goes, lens flare. That's not a lens flare. The lens flare are the lines that are coming off of the center. You can actually see a lens flare on there. These aren't lens flares. These are internal reflections inside the lens or potentially external in a pane of glass outside of the lens. So the one on the bottom there maybe is from the lens, and the one on the top maybe is from a pane of glass that it's looking through. I don't know. I can't be sure. We don't know the details. So he pauses it, calls it a lens flare when it's not. Here is how desperate they are. Notice that both smaller bodies show what looks like an eclipse. Yeah, and this shows you how exposure is very important in photography. even though it is mostly eclipsed, you still see just an overexposed blob where all of the sensors are reading 100% light. That's not the actual shape of the sun. That's not the actual size of the sun. That is glare. Dearth knows that it's glare. He knows, looking at this is on Dearth's channel. He knows this isn't the actual shape and size of the sun. And you can see other, other ones farther out in here. So the lens flare is flipped because of the curve of the lens. Well, again, it's not a lens flare. And it's flipped because of the geometry, sure, but probably not because the lens is curved. Like I said, I'm guessing that he's looking at it through a pane of glass, and that's what that second one is. Poor Dearth. So dumb. All right. The sun we see projected, he says it's projected in the sky, is so bright it blows out the lens and we can't see the eclipse. That's not because it's projected in the sky. It's because it blows out the camera, yes. But not because it's projected, because it's too bright. You can do this yourself. And all cell phones have this now. You can actually tune the exposure. So go at nighttime, take a picture of a light on the side of a building, maybe, or a street light. It's easier if it's on the side of a building because you have more to it than if it's just a street light where you don't have context around it. But figure it out and turn up the exposure so that the wall of the building is well exposed. It will blow out the light, and the light will just be a big glare. Then come back the next day during the day and take a picture again of the wall properly exposed, and you'll see that the light isn't actually that big. It's that light isn't being projected onto something between you and the wall there. There's nothing there. They don't understand photography. Oh, this is a good thing. Extra J. I'm not sure that flat earthers realizes there are more than one lens inside a lens assembly. They would ask why they're not called lenses assembly. Oh my goodness, true. Very true. If this is not a lens flare, what is it? None of them are lens flares. It's an internal reflection. Or an external reflection. Don't know. No context. All right. And then here we're back to the toilet paper. Remember he says paper towel, but it's toilet paper. Glad it's not used yet. Yes, so there he goes. Good job. But where is this screen? You need an actual screen. The actual sky is more transparent. Yes, much more transparent than toilet paper. With a more transparent sky, it would make sense that under the right conditions, we could see through the sky and see the source of the sun projection if we were at the right angle. Oh, so yeah, so that's what this moron is claiming. It's not Dearth; he's just mirroring somebody else's video, I think. Here is the slightly more transparent sky for my model. I appreciate the creativity, but yeah, you can see. I don't know what this ring is around it, but yeah, you can see the actual, like, you can see the toilet paper there on the left side, and then the arrow's pointing to, like, you can see through the toilet paper to the actual light underneath it from the side. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah, all right, so it looks sort of similar, therefore, it's the only thing it could possibly be. The sky is quilted. There's Derpth. All right. I mean, Dearth is only about selling more copies of his app. That's all he's really out there for. So Sean Hawkins. All right. Sean knows his photography. Says, I have to disagree. Lens flare can look like lines or spots. It's internal reflections, but it's still lens flare. Okay. So it's both internal reflection and lens flare. I'll take that. Okay. Could be. I'm not, I know Sean has a lot more background in photography than I do. So I'll go with that. Can the Flerf ever agree on where the sun and moon is, which side of the dome it is? They won't accept science, but believe in magic. Yes. Yeah. And if you're ever on Facebook, you'll see them. They're like, it's been proven scientifically. They like to say that a lot. And you're like, oh, we'll send it. Here's a YouTube video. And they'll send one of these. Like, sorry, that wasn't proven scientifically. What was the hypothesis? In what and who reviewed it for accuracy? Right. One of the the characteristics of pseudoscience is that they don't like peer review. They act like a maverick. It says in one of the things that they will publish things intentionally without letting somebody else review it, because they don't want to get shot down. They don't want to get tested. They don't want to be sure that their stuff is right. They've drawn a conclusion already, and all that they're trying to do is find stuff to support it. And so even if it doesn't support it, they don't want to know that it doesn't support it. They just want to post it as, quick as they can. Cretan Bull, member for 30 months, says Dearth might be the most intentionally deceptive flat earther. He could be. I think flat out truth, Terry R. Eicher might be up there too. But yeah, Dearth is doing it for money. Terry Eicher is doing it just because he's incredibly stupid. So yeah, so there's a difference in motivation, I think, in those two. Terry Eicher, he's so dumb, so absolutely stupid. He did. I won't do a video on this. He posted a long clip from the History Channel and actual from Ancient Aliens. About the Book of Enoch, and some other books of them. Like, it was a long clip, and all he did was he put his little thing on the beginning and his little thing on the end. That was the only thing he did. And of course it got taken down because that's just a blatant copyright violation, and the History Channel enforces takedowns. A lot of places you'll just get where you can't monetize. So then he did a video saying that they're trying to hide the truth. That video is freely available for watching on, not on YouTube that I saw, but on where the History Channel has their videos. You can go watch it, and it has thousands or millions of views. They are not trying to hide the truth. It's easy to go get. Right? They are trying to enforce their intellectual property from somebody blatantly stealing it, because Flat Out Liar is a flat out thief. Anyway, video on that hopefully coming at some point. So so anyway, that's who's the most intentionally deceptive flat earther? Yeah. I think Dearth could be the torchbearer for the most intentionally deceptive flat earther. So, okay. Now this last one's from somebody else. Jiffy Code. Since Mallory isn't here right now, hey MC Toon, I was one of Mallory's whistleblowers. I thought it was you. That was funny. I gotta say, that was funny. She is incredibly funny. So why did Angel Rivera's message get blocked? Texas Destroy. What evidence? Neither you or the other flirts have provided any. Maybe it was because the grammar was wrong. It should be neither you nor the other flirts have provided any. Maybe that's it. Texas Troy, the Earth is domeless. Well, yeah, we know that. Okay, so this one is this one. There it is. It's by Dubé, right there. The Prince of Flat Earth, who's so scared. Poor Eric Dubé. He's so scared to debate me. Back in February, he showed up in a Facebook group that he thought was an echo chamber, but it wasn't. And I'm like, hey, why won't you debate me? What about this? What about... He just ran. Oh, he was so scared. So Eric Dubé is an absolute coward, and he knows why I know why he won't debate me, because I will pin him down on his claim after claim after claim, and he'll have nothing. He'll get absolutely demolished because he is the original Flerf making ridiculous claims about stuff that cannot be backed up, that all the other Flerfs have left, but because it's in his 200 proofs video, he can't leave it. Right? He knows he'd have to make 200 new proofs because almost all of his old ones are totally demolished. Anyway, and this one just came out. Just came out June 1st. So just a few days ago. Today is June 7. Just came out a few days ago, and seriously, he doesn't care. See, here's where Cretenbull, here's where you may be wrong. Dubé is very intentionally deceptive here because he knows, he has to know that these things have all been destroyed already. And he contradicts himself, but I'll get to that. I have some.
One of the more bizarre and confusing questions frequently asked by globe believers is, why are there no photographs showing a flat Earth? What they mean by this is, why are there no photographs taken from outer space which show the entire flat Earth
No, not from outer space, just the top of the dome, maybe.
in one frame, similar to how NASA images show the entire globe Earth? To begin with, we do not pretend to know how far our Earth plane extends outwards.
But you do say there's a dome.
Whether it terminates with an edge, some kind of barrier, or reaches out into infinity. So when globe believers ask this question, they are...
Now, that's an interesting one, because when you show a high altitude balloon footage taken with a rectilinear lens, what do they say is the cause of the apparent curve? They say the cause of the apparent curve is the edge of the disc. They say there is an edge to the disc, and that's the curve you're seeing. So it's the dishonesty. When it's convenient for them, for the Earth to be a disc that doesn't go on indefinitely, then that's what's causing an observation to look some way for them. But when it doesn't work for that, they'll go with some other answer and pretend that they never claimed that there was a disky edge to it. That's what they do.
are making an assumption that the flat Earth is just some object floating in space, similar to the way NASA presents the globe. There are...
Well, I mean, the religiflerfs do have to, they kind of have to get stuck with that because, let's see. Let's see, if you go to my website and you search for Bible Flat Earth. What? There it is. Which is under Bible-Globe. So this one here, the Bible says the Earth is in space. He spreads the skies over unformed space, hangs the Earth out in empty space. So religiflerfs they're kind of messed up here. They're in trouble because they don't want to read this. They'll cherry pick the verses that support them. This is the same verse in multiple translations, and they like the King James. A lot of them go King James, which of course is weird because it was a government that gave it to him. Weird. Anyway, he stretcheth out the north over the empty place and hangeth the earth upon nothing. So you're kind of stuck between hangeth the earth upon nothing and pillars and turtles' backs. It's a little inconsistent. Phil Bell says they claim to know how to navigate. If the earth, if the equator to be the North Pole is 90 degrees, then 90 degrees south must be the other extent. True, but I'll give it to him. If it's not necessarily the case that it stops there, right? You can envision a geometry where it continues. Of course, there's just no evidence for it. So anyway, let's keep going with Dubé here.
There are many cartoon depictions of such silly flat Earths floating in space,
I love using
put out
these
by
for
the
thumbnails.
farcical gatekeepers at the Flat Earth Society and others. But these images
And he puts they like to demonize the Flat Earth Society. But you go to their forums, those people are as derpy serious as all of the other derpy flat earthers.
do not represent the claims of genuine globe skeptics. We simply posit that through objective and empirical means,
No empirical, nothing empirical.
the Earth is demonstrably a stationary level plane devoid of any curvature, which proves the prevailing globe Earth theory to be scientifically impossible.
But yeah, you'd have to have the empirical evidence that you don't actually have.
The question, why are there no photographs of the flat Earth, is truly bizarre
Now, am I wrong, or is there curve there?
and confusing, because literally every photograph ever taken of the Earth shows a perfectly flat horizon.
Nope. That's not the case. Again, that's just a lie. So, Dwayne Kellum. Now, Mr. Sensible also did this, but I use this one. I like to let Mr. Sensible use his. I'll use this one here. So here is flat earther Dwayne Kellum. Used a camera that is a Sony A7S II with a Sony FE, not flat earth. That's not what it stands for. 50 millimeter f1.8 lens, right? Now, thedigitalpicture.com reviews these lenses and quantifies the amount of barrel distortion. And look at that. The barrel distortion is either not there at all, or it's so slight that you cannot see it. So what did he just say? Let's review here, just to be sure. The claim that he made.
Every photograph ever taken of the Earth shows a perfectly flat horizon extending outwards in all directions.
All right. So there's his claim. So here is the video. This is a still from the video. I added this particular line here. I know you've seen this before, but I just love it. On the left side, I put the line just above the horizon. On the right side, I did the same thing. And oh, look, there's a curve. You can look at the video. I'll just, yeah, all right. And you do a left to right compression. It exaggerates the visible curve. And here is queued up for the high altitude portion of it. And you can see right there, above frame curve, below frame is curve. There's always curve. This is at 117,000 feet there. It's curved. Eric Dubé, you lied. You gotta lie to Flerf. So there it is. So, and people make all sorts of excuses. They'll first say that that high altitude balloons show it to be flat. Then you show this, and they come up with excuses. So which is it? Is it flat or is it not? I mean, they get trapped. They get trapped. They make claims that they can't back up. They didn't do their research.
Without the slightest bit of curvature or globularity. The only exceptions to this are trick photography in the form of fisheye lenses, like
He doesn't even know what fisheye lenses are. Those are barrel distortion lenses, but that's fine. It's a common mistake. And yes, don't use fisheye lenses, please, if you're going to send a video showing whether or not the horizon is curved. Be sure to use a rectilinear lens or have some external to the lens straight edge so you can quantify the amount of curve.
the ones used by GoPro, or CGI composites.
CGI composite. Now, of course, here's the problem, Dubay. The bottom one that he claims is real is not real. It's either manipulated or it's from a lens with a strong barrel distortion and the horizon is below center of frame. And that middle one is not fisheye. The middle one is lens called barrel distortion. You can see he's right that it's distorted. You can see that string there, which probably should be looking a bit straighter.
Like the ones created by NASA. All actual photographs taken with non-fisheye lenses.
Oh, non-fisheye lenses, like the Sony FE50 f1.8. This one here. Yes, that one. That one right there with the curve.
Show the Earth to be a level plane. Even at the highest altitudes reached by amateur rockets and balloons, where hundreds of miles can be seen in all directions.
Oh, hold on a second. And here, they never check. That bottom one, where they're claiming it's flat, is actually curved concave. You can see it. It's pretty clear. The right and left sides bend up. Hey, Eric, that is a distorted lens, barrel distortion lens, and it is a cherry-picked frame that makes it look flat, but it's not. And I don't know if that top one is NASA's official photo. If you wanted to actually cite your source, you'd put the link to NASA's actual photo. Let's check in the description. I'm sure he put in the description, right? The actual link to, oh no, he didn't. He didn't cite his source. Oh, Eric, how can I go how could your dedicated fans that most definitely are going to do their own research, how can they do their own research if you didn't give them the link to the actual official NASA photo? How are they going to find it? You don't want them, do you? Greenball, that real pic is a close-up of a pic. The full picture is available and it shows curvature. Of course it is. You mean on this one? Yes. Yes. In fact, on when they do the Facebook flirfs, whenever they post a video, they post a very short video, 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes of the calm level, the calm flight where it's not moving around in the wind and where the lens is tipping down a little bit so the horizon is below center of frame. Right? And that's all they get. So I always do this. Send the original video, the full length, unedited video. Bet you won't. They never do. Because they didn't do their own research. They were indoctrinated. They uncritically accepted the claim. Don't do it yourself. Don't uncritically accept anything. Go find the original video too. Go look at it. Go see if the lens used, if the camera used has barrel distortion. So, but they never do. They never come back with the full-length video.
Where hundreds of miles can be seen in all directions, the horizon remains flat and rises to the eye of the observer, a physical impossibility on a globe of given proportions, which requires an apparent and easily visible curvature drop, even
Curvature drop. And here we go again for all of you. By the way, you don't need my permission. Please go ahead and link to this. The horizon never rises to high level. The horizon does not rise to high level. So he just made that claim again. Flat earthers have mostly abandoned this claim. If anyone claims the horizon rises to eye level but hasn't tested it, they're being dishonest. The claim is you can trace back to 1881, page 172 of Samuel Rowbotham's book. It is shown that the surface of the sea appears to rise up to the level or altitude of the eye. So, the thing is, Rowbotham's testing of it was incredibly bad. But you can do much better yourself. You can just get on your phone the Theodolite app, or on Android. It's got a different name. If somebody wants to send that, the name Dioptra, I think. So this is what I took. I took this myself, flying from Anchorage to Minneapolis. That line across the middle is the horizon, and you can see the moon is completely below it, and below that is the horizon. It did not rise to eye level. It's just a blatant lie. That they don't care. He doesn't care for the truth. This is from a globular epic bikini. There it is. The horizon dips 3.3 degrees, which is the prediction for the globe at that elevation. There you go. D Wolfman 54 again. Tiny Captain again. BK, flight from Newcastle to Brisbane, Australia. Newcastle's in. There's not just Newcastle in England. There's a Newcastle in Australia. I love this one. The one in, turn off the sound. The one in Santa Barbara area, or Malibu area. Flerfs, they come up with all sorts of excuses. They're like, the camera was at the wrong height. You were just being deceptive. No. The water, the tops, as soon as you align the tops of the two water levels, they're at the camera is at the correct elevation. And that's it. That's all you need. But you can use a theodolite like the main surveyor. And this one's been around. It's gotten around a lot. Where is it? There you go. I mean, how hard is that? It doesn't rise to eye level, Dubé. You're just a scummy liar. That's all it is. Dirty, dirty liar.
at ground level. A much better and more pertinent question ball believers should be asking themselves is,
again, that's just a lie.
Why are there no actual photographs of the globe?
Oh, there are.
NASA admits on their own website that their pictures of Earth from space are composite images and not photographs.
Just one.
NASA.
So Dubé, more filthy lies. One picture, just one, is a composite of satellite pictures. So if you're going to cite that, you're acknowledging that satellites exist.
NASA artist and lead blue marble designer.
All right, so now here's where he gets really deceptive. So here's where he may outdo Dearth in intentionally lying. This particular photograph is from Apollo 17. It is not CGI. He says, on this cartoon world, it is dark in Tokyo, Moscow, London, New York, Los Angeles, Honolulu, and Sydney simultaneously. No. You see, he puts this in when he's talking about the actual one that was the one photograph that was a composite. Let's listen.
Robert Simmons described on live radio the process by which NASA fakes these CGI images, going as far.
right? So he had this up, intentionally deceiving people into thinking that this was the one that he was talking about, when it's that one, a different one. So he doesn't actually address this photograph other than to try to claim that it would be dark in Tokyo, Moscow, London, New York, Los Angeles, Honolulu, and Sydney simultaneously. Not understanding, or probably intentionally lying about how much of a sphere you can see based on the distance you are from it. So this isn't representative of the entirety of what's lit. This is only representative of what you would see based on how far away they were from it. Gotta light a flare.
Fakes these CGI images, going as far as to say they are photoshopped because they have to be. Even a cursory glance at these obviously doctored pictures.
So again, he misses the distance you are from it.
Should raise suspicion. Comparing them side by side, they all look completely different, with varying shapes and sizes of land masses,
As they
randomly colored earth and water.
As they should. Not all photographs take pictures the same, or not all cameras take color photographs the same. I mean, this is basic, like, photography, but I guess we're spoiled because we have, right, we take the majority of our pictures, you know, that most people understand with this, and this does color, you know, consistent color correction for us. Everything's automatic. But when you use an analog camera with a specific type of film, it's different. When you're specifically making a scientific instrument that is not just to take color photographs of the Earth, but to actually get things in different wavelengths, it's going to look different because you have to process them differently. It's a different camera, it's different CCDs, different sensitivity to different lights. But the main thing is the size. Notice anything funny about the size of the United States? This is not claimed to be two photographs of the same distance from the Earth. So to put them next to each other as if it is again deceptive.
And often using the same copy and paste.
Now, this one, I think, is just a blatant lie again. Is this 1978 photograph actually a photograph from 1978? I don't think so. Because I could be wrong, but I don't think that in 1978 there was the capability to take a photograph of Earth from that distance. And then it's the same as in 2017, he says. Well, send the citation. Oh, let's check his description. Oh, nope, still doesn't have the source for that. So this 1978 one, I'm going to ask, citation needed. Angel Riviera, have I ever debated Texas Troy 78? I have not. He says he wants to. But he wants to hide his identity, which I get because it's embarrassing. But anyway, so I'm going to need a citation for this one from 1978. And yes, of course, they're different sizes because they're different distances. Could one of the Voyager probes have taken that in 1978? Maybe. I don't know. A responsible revolutionary who really wants to inform his people would certainly do something to give a citation, but he doesn't. But yeah, let's do that. People, find out what 1978 photograph could there be of the Earth. I don't know. I don't know. So send links. I'll put them up. Oh, here's Bite Mahagas showed up. Next, McClown will be showing us images of a sky daddy he believes in. Very scientific. Why would I do that? You make no sense. Okay.
Pasted sets of clouds. Computer enhancements done on...
Oh, see? And here's where he really gets to be a flurf scum. Mute Donkey. Yeah, they definitely are the same photograph with the colors changed. No doubt about that. But what in 1978 existed that could have taken that photograph? I don't know if there is anything that could have taken it. That would be the easiest avenue to test to see if there even was something in 1978 that could have taken that photograph. So all right, so this one here, this is so deceptive. So this elevated exposure in Photoshop reveals a copy paste job. No, I don't know. This very apparent border around it is very telling, but they never give the actual source. But what they tend to do is they'll go download a low-res JPEG from the website, because the people doing this don't know photography, don't know any of this technology. Golden Knight. I just looked at the 1978 photo could have been from Apollo 17. Of course, Apollo 17 was in 1972, not 1978. So, oh, Troy said, okay, when? Challenge accepted. All right, Troy. Let's set it up. And we've got this one here. Eileen Dover says 1978 was actually 2001. So could somebody send me... Oh, here we go. Eileen got it for me. Copy link. So here we go. Copy link. There it is. Fact check from Snopes. Do NASA photographs show deforestation in North America? So interesting. Okay. Popular NASA photographs purportedly highlighting the dramatic effects of deforestation in North America actually show the Earth in different seasons. So here, 1978, 2012. I think this is the claim which Snopes is addressing here. Two of the photographs taken by NASA in 78 and 2012 document the dramatic effects. Okay. False. A popular set of photography purported documented dramatic effects. These images are frequently attached to the search NASA released imagery showing deforestation in just 34 years. This isn't the case. Both taken by NASA. Neither of the pictures dates to 78, nor did NASA release a photograph simultaneously in an attempt to highlight the spread of deforestation. The photograph on the left is a composite of several taken by NASA in 2001. Maybe that is the Robert Simmons one. I don't know. It's important to note the land portion of the image photographed between June and September during the period when the year is summer in North America and when many types of trees are therefore displaying plentiful green foliage. It is tinted slightly greener than the original. Oh, so there's the 78. There's the original from 2001. Oh, Eric Dubé, you big liar. What? I don't. All right. And then, all right, so 2001. Now, of course, this is Snopes. Go verify. Now, they give their links. They give their citations. There's the link for it. So you can actually go easily, unlike what Eric Dubé does. You can go find the source stuff and investigate further for yourself. Anyway, the photograph of the Earth on the right was taken over the course of a single day in 2012. What did Dubé claim? Let's see. I gotta skip through here. He did get 2012. But neither of the dates 78 or 2017 were correct. Neither. So, In January, when it's winter in North America, many trees don't have green leaves. So not deforestation. Let's say blue marble image are taken from the VIIRS instrument aboard NASA's most recently launched Earth observing satellite, Suomi NPP. This composite image uses a number of swaths of the Earth's surface taken on January 4. The NPP satellite was renamed Suomi NPP January on the late Werner E. Suomi of the University of Wisconsin. So that one is a composite. Oh dear. And NASA didn't claim it was a single frame photograph. Oh my. So there you go. There you go, big old Dubé, king of lies. See, now here's the poll. I'm gonna make a poll here. Who is the biggest intentional liar? Right? Who is the biggest intentional liar? We got Derpth. We got Dubé. And we got Flat Out Liar. There we go. PJ CNET doesn't even rate. I asked him if he wanted to come on tonight. He said he doesn't have anything new. Okay, let's jump ahead to where we were. It was this one here, where they take low-res JPEGs.
Taken during the fake moon landings, even reveal clear rectangular artifacts
Yes, those are JPEG artifacts.
around the Earth,
JPEGs.
proving them to be composite.
So this one here, this is a good one. We can look at this right now. Can anybody? Oh, there it is. It's actually there. The name of the image is right there. So, oops, that's not what I wanted. It is AS-134. That's AS-17-134-20471. There are 3 different very nice places that house these that are not NASA. So this is NASA right here, right? And here is one at usra.edu. Here's one on Flickr. And then there's a one on this one, ASU. So there it is on this one, the 70 millimeter Hasselblad. See, it's not even a digital photograph. It's a 70 millimeter film. And then it's a scan of it. They don't even understand these simple things. It's a scan of a physical photograph. Now I like this one, asu.edu, because you actually see the whole film. You see the track marks on the side there. And this one lets you download the raw, look at that, 1.2 gigabyte 1.2 gigabyte raw photo, which is a TIFF. There's no JPEG compression artifacts. Let's download the thumbnail version of it. It's tiny. 12 kilobytes. Oh, that's tiny. It's too small. Now, here's what you need to do, scummy liar Dubé. You need to get on here, download the raw one, the 1.2 gigabyte version of it, and do the analysis on that one. Or better yet, go to the museum in Houston, or send somebody. Pool your money, flat earthers. Pool your money. Or call up your good friend, Flat Earth Millionaire. See if he can pause from doing his blood magic rituals for a little while to send you a check to hire a photo forensics expert to go to Houston and look at the slides, the photographic slides, and find the fakery there. You're not going to do it. They'll never do that. They don't want to test. Remember, flat earthers, they have a process. They pre-select their conclusion. They look for things that support the conclusion. They ignore things that don't support the conclusion, and then they declare that their conclusion has been undeniably proven. Earth does it all the time. You just add proof at the end. Anyway, so there is. I will download a. Let's get the 12 megabyte version of it. It's a good size. It's still a good size. 12 megabyte. It doesn't. Now this site doesn't download really fast. There it is, almost done and done. Okay, so let's drop it on here. So here is the 12 megabyte version. There is how close it is. You can see on here, like you can see the a little crosshair thing there. And when you analyze this one, you won't find those artifacts around here. You will not. Bite Mahagus. When are you gonna sack up there, buddy? Caucasian Sensation has been a member for 12 months. Says, good evening, everyone. Glad to be here. Well, I'm glad you're here as well, Caucasian Sensation. And then Harold, stop censoring Harold, says for $5, Mallory owns 14 NASA shirts and has a Neil deGrasse Tyson neck tattoo. Tell everyone I have proof. Well, I just told everyone on here. So, yep, a Neil deGrasse Tyson neck tattoo. Send the pictures. So, all right. All right, let's finish up here. Let's look at from Dubai. So there it is. Go ahead, do the analysis on the proper one. I don't know. Hold on. Should I do it in Photoshop? I have Photoshop. All right. I'll do it with the medium. JPEG. We'll see. We'll see what the medium JPEG looks like. And I'm going to, right. I'm going to have to duplicate this. I got to set up the scene. Give me a second here. 2-in-1 inset, Tron-1 inset. We got duplicate. There it is. Goes to the bottom. Photoshop. Got to move it up. And let's see. There it is. I should just have this. I can use Photoshop more often. Just need to get rid of a couple of these. There it is. Add this. Window capture. And I'm going to call it Photoshop. So this, you're seeing a little behind the scenes here. Photoshop, there it is. And it's way big. My Photoshop window is giant. Okay, here we go. So there it is. There is Photoshop. I gotta move it here. And then it doesn't, it's going slow. It's copying it. All right, let me jump in here. The Mystery Cook. Flat Earth is plenty ridiculous without ice walls. Every flat earther on the planet needs a big paper bag full of the most heinous caramelized onion farts. That will bring them all to their senses. Oh, that's a good one. Lael says there's a flaw in your poll. If the other Flerf used the same argument as Dubé, the most likely receive their info from Dubé. Yeah, I mean, Dubé is you know, it's the whole Papa Flerf hierarchy, or right, the tree of Flerfism. But we'll get into that in a minute here. All right. So there's that. Let's rotate it. Image rotation. We're gonna go counterclockwise. There it is. And now we will zoom in. All right. Now I'm gonna add a adjustment layer, brightness and contrast. Brightness all the way up, contrast all the way up. Look at that. Cranking the brightness down, brightness up, contrast down, contrast up. Now, you do see these lines, and these lines would be artifacts of scanning. It'd be from the scanner. Yeah, you can see it. You can see it here above his head there, right? They're faint, but they're there. Now I can add an exposure adjustment. How about that? There's exposure. Let's crank it way up. There you go. Let's go back over here to where the Earth is. You see, you're not seeing the same thing on that they were talking about. And of course, this is the result of what you'd expect for a scan. So nothing fishy about it. I don't know they don't understand photography. They don't understand. Jiffy codes. All right, I'm going to end the poll. We've got Dubé at 68%. It's the biggest intentional liar. There it is. Yeah, so go ahead and take any photograph that's scanned from a photographic slide. Do the same analysis. Guess what? You're gonna find it. So, all right. Yeah, and we got Brady Photography, who knows a little bit about photography in here. Let's see. All right, there's this. Now, this is a Photoshop is hogging the computer. I'm gonna end that. So there you go. There wasn't rectangles around it. None of it was analyzed by a photo forensics expert to say yes, to confirm the claims. None of it. So, all right. Is there more? There is a bit more. Right there. All right, we'll go back to it. So clearly that I showed that it was not pasted in Photoshop. I showed what you would expect of a scan of an image. I did not do the TIFF. Maybe I will do the TIFF and see what we get from that.
Composites. So for all the globe zealots out there wondering why there are no photographs of the flat Earth, I recommend reflecting on the fact that actually every photograph ever taken does show a perfectly flat Earth.
Oh, yeah. Except for this one. And a bunch more.
And for them to direct that same skepticism and curiosity towards finding out why, in reality, there are no genuine photographs of the globe.
But there are. Again, unsubstantiated claims. And this one down here, oh, you recognize that one down there? I have that one, because that one on the bottom gets pasted all the time. Yeah, Bite Mahagas is all talk, all cattle. All right, all hat, no cattle. All hat, no cattle. To your folks messaging me, I'd run circles around you with science. I used to be in your cult until I broke through. Really? Well, tell you what, Bite Mahagas. You could not. I will confidently say you could not run circles around me with science. And so I will tell you my email address is mctoon@mctoon.net, Bite Mahagas. And until you get an email, until I get an email from you agreeing to come on here, your big mouth is shut. You get the Vicky treatment. People know the Vicky treatment. Go ahead. All right, so I'm going to show this one here, because that bottom one is from the one thing that he said you should not use. And I also say you should not use. You've got an hour till the next stream. I have an hour and a half, hour and almost 45 minutes until the next stream. But I don't think he has enough courage. So here it is. Here is the I'll show you the bottom one here. Look at there. There's that. You see it? It's the same one. That one. That one. It's the same one. But there's a different screen, a different frame of that same video. It's a GoPro. The dishonest lying Flerfs cherry pick the frame from a GoPro that supports their pre-selected conclusion. It's lying. You gotta lie to Flerf. So there you go. And this one here, it's got the actual right there on it, the URL to the original video, which I believe is gone. I got a clip of it. I got a clip of a longer clip of it and did some analysis on it, but it's a GoPro lens. It's highly distorted, and the Flerfs, they don't care about truth, even though they have truth in their names so often, because they'll take a distorted lens photograph and claim it's the not distorted one. So there you go. All right, and that's it. He fades out. Fade to black. All derpy lies. So yes, Bite Mahagas gets the Vicky treatment, which means his comments are not welcome here. His debate, live debate, is welcome here. He just needs to dig deep. Dig deep. Let's see. Who's that from? Who's that from? I'm checking my email to see if he sent me. He didn't send me one yet. Nothing. What is it? You got no guts there. Jiffy Cones for $3.33 says, Mallory is neither Flerf nor furry. I can confirm. I don't want to know. I don't want to know how you can confirm that. Anyway. So we do, you're right, Paul. We do need jesters here, and Bite Mahagas is welcome to be his jester here. Here's the thing. He threw down the gauntlet by claiming that he could run circles around me with science. He threw the gauntlet. Time to back it up. Time to back it up. So I have I have a late stream tonight, so it starts at midnight tonight. Debate with what's his name? Numpty Noah. And he's in Hawaii, so the time worked out. Oh yeah, this yes. So Tommy Gronwald, I'll grab those. There's that. Yeah, this is a good one. Are these yours, right, Tommy? I'll put them up here. There's that. And there's that. So yeah, it's such a simple thing that Flerfs just don't want to admit. They don't like it. It hurts their precious. So here it is. Here is a globe taken with a camera, a real camera. 10 millimeter, 10 inch away. And here's a 350 millimeter at 15 to 18 feet away. 10 inches away. Look how big Africa is. 15 to 18 feet away. I do appreciate you using freedom units there, Tommy. Same globe. Same globe. Look at that. How is that possible, people? I mean, you can do, if you have two lenses on your camera, or 3. Excuse me. You can do it too. It's not. That is perspective. You're right, Texas Troy. That is perspective. Good job. Good job. So let me check one more time to see if Bite Mahagas found any. Nope, nothing. All right. One more from Earth is Life. All right, I gotta get this. I gotta drop it into the proper folder here. It is. I'll warn you. It's CGI. Right there. This is how Flerfs think that flat surfaces work. I mean, you never see that. You never see half a basketball. No flat surface obscures the bottom up of something with increasing distance. Now, Tommy, I appreciate that you use freedom units, but if you really want to be cool on this, you should totally use sheep units. So how many sheep lengths away is that? So Bite Mahagas, if you want to be timed out, if you want to be no more timed out, no longer timed out, it's easy. Schedule a debate with me, big talker. Quantum Degreaser says informational black hole and compression zone at center of frame. The increase in zoom is an increase in pseudo perspective. Also angles of attack. There you go. There you go. All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wrap this one up. I'm going to prepare myself for the next one, which it basically means I'm not going to do anything because I'm already ready. And the next one is like in an hour and a half from now. There's like a 15-minute prep, and then the debate actually starts at midnight. We'll see what happens. I don't go. What am I gonna do? I'm out of stuff. Dr. Nimrod says I can't join. I don't know. Anyway, free the kittens. So, the turtle is now, about a year old, and he's not yet been fixed. So we've got him scheduled. Poor kitten, poor guy. For next week, he's gonna get the little slicey. Is Numpty Noah a Flerf? He shares the same nickname as Quantum Eraser. He is. He is a Flerf. He's on the asylum. He's a regular on the asylum. I was on there last night at 1:20 a.m. I'm yawning already. I'm gonna have to get me some caffeine. He was on there at I was on there. I'm like, oh, I saw some people. I popped in, and Don is like, oh, hey, you should totally debate Numpty Noah. I'm like, okay. And then he shows up. He's like, let's go right now. I'm like, dude, it's 1:20. He's like, well, we can do it tomorrow. So it's gonna happen. Hopefully it's gonna happen. I messaged him. He said, see you then. So that's what I'm gonna do. May is busy. Last weekend we finished Ultimate Frisbee for the season. So my schedule is now open again. If you noticed, I did not have a lot of pre-recorded videos. I'm gonna be able to do that more now. So I'll be looking for those. I have a few in the works. I recorded probably 2 months ago, part 2 of 3 of the Mark Steele analysis of his career. He claims to have 35 years of experience in research and development in the energy sector, which we all know is an absolute lie. But I go into the details. So anyway, like I gotta finish editing that one, and I have a few more, like the I don't know. I talked about it earlier. So I've not seen Top Gun 2. Not yet. I have seen Top Gun 1. So I did see Are You Too Soft for a Moon Landing debate? No. From the Art Alex. Bring it on. Actually, oh yeah. On Friday, FDFE and I are debating, the two of us are debating Howard, who is no longer allowed on Modern Day Debate because he's such a scummy liar, is going to be on FDFE's channel with Mr. Sensible moderating. We have a rather strict format that we'll be following. I am presenting evidence for human space exploration, and somehow Howard is supposed to be showing evidence that there is none, and that's my topic. And then FDFE is only covering the shape of the Earth, and so it's a 1v2, but where I'm like, I won't talk during the other part of it, so it's really 1v1 at a time. So yes, be looking for that. That will be I think it's 10 p.m. UK time, which is 4 p.m. Central. So Brady Photography says, I need to send you the completed photo. What completed? Send me the completed photo. I'll take it. Whatever you're talking about. My prediction. All right. So Metagara says, we hope to hear your prediction for the debate tonight. DMOC is already on there, and Sin Cleanser is already drinking. Oh my gosh. Sin Cleanser is always drinking. My prediction is that he will not have any evidence. They never do. There's nothing. They're cute. At least Don last night had some interesting attempts. He had a whole different angle on why high altitude photography shows a curve. I mean, at least he acknowledges that there is evidence that rectilinear lenses see a curving horizon at high elevation. Good on him for that. The rest of them just deny it. So, yeah, it's not a prediction. It's a certainty. Better grab a coffee. Double coffee. You do look tired. Yes. So last night I was up until almost 2, talking to them. We had a nice conversation. And then I didn't sleep late this morning. So anyway, poor Bite Mahagus. He says it's an echo chamber. It's not an echo chamber. Bite Mahagus, you are specifically invited on to be a featured guest. All you need to do is check down in them panties and see if there's anything in them. Because I don't think there is. Let me check. Let me check my email. Nope, it's not there. It's not there. Okay, everybody, thank you for showing up. I'm sure you could find something to do for the next hour and a half. Go watch Impractical Jokers on YouTube. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Stephen Baker, stop throwing discs and debate these dicks. Yes. More coming, people. All right, we'll see you later. Thank you very much for everybody showing up, for super chats, for patrons, for everything, for members. And we'll see you in a little bit.